Most people want to become a Sigma male for the wrong reasons. They think it's about being quiet, distant, or acting like they don't care about anything. But that's just the surface, and honestly, it doesn't work. You can copy behavior, but you can't fake mindset. Because real Sigma energy doesn't come from acting different, it comes from thinking different. It comes from controlling your emotions when others lose control, staying focused when everything around you is trying to distract you, and building a level of self-respect that doesn't depend on anyone else. The truth is, most people react too fast, seek validation without realizing it, and lose direction chasing things that don't even matter. And that's exactly why they stay average. But if you understand these three things, everything starts to change. You stop reacting, you start choosing, you stop chasing, you start building, and slowly, without forcing anything, your presence becomes different. Not louder, not more visible, just more controlled. So if you're ready to stop pretending and actually build the mindset, pay close attention, because these three things will change how you think, move, and live. Control your emotions first. Most people think strength comes from reacting fast, speaking loud, or showing dominance in every situation. But real strength is the opposite. It's control. Because if you can't control your emotions, you can't control your actions. And if you can't control your actions, you can't control your life. A Sigma male understands this deeply. When something happens, he doesn't react instantly. He doesn't let anger decide his words or let pressure rush his decisions. Instead, he creates space. A small pause between what he feels and what he does. And that pause changes everything. While others are arguing, he stays calm. While others are overwhelmed, he stays focused. While others react, he chooses. This doesn't mean he doesn't feel anything. He feels everything: anger, frustration, stress. But he processes it instead of expressing it blindly. He observes his emotions, understands them, and then decides the best response. And that's where his power comes from. Because in a world where most people are controlled by how they feel in the moment, the one who stays in control stands out. He doesn't get pulled into drama. He doesn't lose energy on unnecessary reactions. And he doesn't make decisions he will regret later. He moves with intention, not impulse. And once you master that, everything in your life starts to change. Stop seeking validation. Most people don't realize how much of their behavior is controlled by the need for validation. They speak in a certain way to be liked, they act differently to fit in, and they make decisions based on how others might judge them. Over time, this creates a cycle where their confidence depends on external approval. If people support them, they feel good. If not, they start doubting themselves. A Sigma male breaks that cycle completely. He doesn't wait for people to tell him he's doing well. He doesn't measure his value through likes, attention, or opinions. Instead, he builds his confidence internally. He sets his own standards and judges himself based on those standards, not on what others think. This changes everything, because when you stop seeking validation, you stop overthinking every move. You stop trying to impress, and you start focusing on what actually matters. You become more direct, honest, and more consistent in how you move. A Sigma male doesn't need to prove himself. He doesn't chase recognition, and he doesn't explain his worth. If people see his value, that's fine. If they don't, he keeps moving anyway, and that mindset creates real confidence. Not the loud, attention-seeking type, but a quiet certainty. The kind that doesn't change based on opinions. The kind that stays, even when no one is watching. Because once your value comes from within, no one else can take it away. Stop seeking validation. Most people don't realize how much of their behavior is controlled by the need for validation. They speak in a certain way to be liked. They act differently to fit in. And they make decisions based on how others might judge them. Over time, this creates a cycle where their confidence depends on external approval. If people support them, they feel good. If not, they start doubting themselves. A Sigma male breaks that cycle completely. He doesn't wait for people to tell him he's doing well. He doesn't measure his value through likes, attention, or opinions. Instead, he builds his confidence internally. He sets his own standards and judges himself based on those standards, not on what others think. This changes everything, because when you stop seeking validation, you stop overthinking every move. You stop trying to impress, and you start focusing on what actually matters. You become more direct, more honest, and more consistent in how you move. A Sigma male doesn't need to prove himself. He doesn't chase recognition, and he doesn't explain his worth. If people see his value, that's fine. If they don't, he keeps moving anyway. And that mindset creates real confidence. Not the loud, attention-seeking type, but a quiet certainty. The kind that doesn't change based on opinions. The kind that stays, even when no one is watching. Because once your value comes from within, no one else can take it away. Build discipline daily. Most people wait to feel motivated before they act. They say they'll start tomorrow, when they feel ready, when the timing is right. But that moment rarely comes. Motivation is unstable. It changes with mood, energy, and circumstances. And if your actions depend on it, your progress will always be inconsistent. A Sigma male doesn't rely on motivation. He relies on discipline. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Waking up when it's easier to stay in bed. Staying focused when distractions are everywhere. Continuing when progress feels slow. It's not exciting, it's not glamorous, but it's what builds real strength over time. At first, it's uncomfortable. You have to force yourself. You have to push through resistance. But slowly, something changes. What felt difficult becomes normal. What required effort becomes habit. And that's when discipline turns into identity. A Sigma male builds this every day. Not in big, dramatic moments, but in small, consistent actions. He keeps promises to himself. He shows up even when no one is watching. He works when there's no reward yet. And over time, that consistency creates results that others can't match. Because while most people start strong and stop quickly, he starts steady and never stops. And that's the difference. Discipline doesn't make you look powerful at first. It's what makes you become powerful in the long run. Learn to be alone without feeling lost. Most people are afraid of being alone. Not just physically, but mentally. The moment things get quiet, they reach for distractions, phones, conversations, noise, anything to avoid sitting with their own thoughts. Because being alone forces you to face yourself, and for many people, that's uncomfortable. A Sigma male sees it differently. For him, being alone is not something to escape, it's something to use. He doesn't depend on constant interaction to feel okay. He can sit in silence without feeling empty. He can spend time by himself without feeling like something is missing. And that ability gives him a level of independence most people never build. Because when you're comfortable alone, you stop making decisions out of fear. You don't stay in the wrong relationships just to avoid loneliness. You don't chase attention just to feel valued. And you don't lose yourself trying to fit in. Instead, you start choosing what truly aligns with you. A Sigma male uses solitude to think clearly. He reflects, analyzes, and understands himself on a deeper level. He figures out what he wants, what matters, and what doesn't. And that clarity becomes his direction. It's not isolation, it's intentional solitude. And over time, this creates something powerful. Because when you're not afraid of being alone, you're no longer controlled by anything that tries to fill that space. Focus only on what matters. Most people lose a lot of their potential, not because they lack ability, but because they are constantly distracted. They try to do everything at once, pay attention to everyone, react to every situation, and chase things that don't actually move them forward. Their energy is scattered, and because of that, their progress is slow. A Sigma male moves differently. He doesn't try to do everything. He focuses on what actually matters. He understands that time and energy are limited, so instead of reacting to every message, every opinion, every opportunity, he filters everything. If something doesn't align with his goals, his growth, or his peace, he ignores it without hesitation. This level of focus is rare because it requires discipline. It means saying no to distractions, even when they look tempting. It means avoiding unnecessary drama, ignoring opinions that don't matter, and staying committed to a direction, even when it's not exciting. While others are busy reacting, he is building. While others are distracted, he is consistent. And over time, this creates a huge difference. Because small, focused actions done every day will always beat random effort done occasionally. A Sigma male doesn't waste energy trying to prove something. He invests it where it creates results. And that's the key. Because once you learn to focus only on what truly matters, everything else becomes noise. At the end of the day, becoming a Sigma male is not about acting different. It's about thinking different. It's about controlling your emotions, building discipline, staying focused, and knowing your value without needing anyone to confirm it. These are not things you fake. They are things you build over time. And once you do, everything changes. You move with clarity, not confusion. With purpose, not impulse. If this gave you a new perspective, make sure to subscribe for more content on mindset and psychology. Now ask yourself, are you ready to stay the same or ready to level up?